Good morning, everybody. I think it's time we start the proceedings, otherwise we're going to stay here until midnight, and I don't think anybody wants to stay with me that long.
No?
Honorable Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues and friends, on behalf of the DEMAC Consortium, I warmly welcome you all to this joint venture between diaspora and institutional humanitarian actors, working together towards the one thing we all spend our time, our energy and our passion on, to achieve a better humanitarian response that can help more people in need. This conference is hosted jointly by the partners behind DEMAC, Danish Refugee Council, Afford UK and the Berghoff Foundation in Germany. Together we bring expertise and experience within the field of humanitarian aid, diaspora engagement and dialogue between different actors. DEMAC is funded by ECHO, and today's event is the concluding activity of the work we have been engaged in for the past 16 months. Together with representatives from the Somali, the Sierra Leonean and the Syrian diaspora, as well as from leading institutional humanitarian organizations and agencies, DEMAC has been exploring spaces for increased collaboration between the formal humanitarian system and diaspora organizations engaged in humanitarian aid. We have invited you here to explore with us the work we have been done and discuss it with us and with each other. Working with diasporas is not a question of inviting new actors to the scene, because diasporas are already there. Diasporas utilize their money, their values, their skills and their ideas to provide assistance to affected communities around the globe. What led us to develop DEMAC is the fact that though playing a vital role in most emergencies in the world, diasporas often operate outside the formal humanitarian system. If we want to provide the best assistance to as many people as possible, we can't afford to do that. And what's even more important, the growing number of affected people can't afford us to do that anymore. Humanitarian response at its best must incorporate all actors. It must seek complementarity rather than competition and facilitate collaboration rather than fragmentation. In a think brief from July last year, UN OCHA called for efforts to improve interoperability in an expanding humanitarian system. They defined interoperability as describing the effort to optimize the response to the needs of affected people by making systems that are very different work better together. That's exactly what DEMAC is working for. Since June last year, we have been bringing together operational and policy-level actors from the diaspora and from the formal humanitarian system to discuss challenges and opportunities of our different ways of working, to learn from our differences and to identify commonalities. The goal has been to produce recommendations, joint recommendations, on how to make this interoperability happen where it's most needed, which is on the operational ground of humanitarian action. We're happy to see so many of you join us today in the proceedings which will provide a space to share our findings and learnings with you, as well as listen and gain knowledge from your experience, which will, even more importantly, help us to continue shaping the future of our engagement in DEMAC. Because I think I speak on behalf of most actors engaged when I say that we're not done yet. The day is short and our program long, so I will, without any ado, turn over the microphone to my colleague Christian Böhm, who is a policy advisor at Danish Refugee Council and has been so kind to be our master of ceremony, trying to steer us through today's event without becoming horribly late. Thanks a lot for helping us, and please do take over.
Thanks a lot, Mingo. Can everybody, this microphone seems to work well? Yes. Okay. So my name is Christian. I'm also employed at the Danish Refugee Council as policy advisor, and I have agreed to assist the DEMAC team today in facilitating this event, which brings me to the practical issues. This conference is live streamed via the website, so please share the link in your network. There's also a photographer walking around taking pictures. There's a videographer taking around. If you would not like to have your images appear, then please let us know. The fact that this is live streamed also means that we have to use the microphones at all time, also in the audience, so we will have people walking around with the microphones once we come to the general discussion. Okay. Lunch is upstairs. Coffee breaks where the stairs are, toilets the same way. Please do not leave the building. If you need to smoke, you have to contact Suhaib. Where are you? We have a person who will take you out to smoke. Okay, he's outside at the moment. Okay, fine. Otherwise, if you leave the building, you will have difficulties to get back into. This is high security here. Good. I'll do my best to manage the times here. Please help me doing so. Yes. Normally, I'm not a big fan of energizers, but I have a little one for you this morning. And this will be the first and last one. You take up your left hand like this, down in your pocket. You take your cell phone, put it on silent mode. That's it, basically. So to the agenda today, welcome housekeeping. We were going to have 3 opening remarks in a second by 3 leading personalities from the sector. Then we have 2 keynote speeches afterwards from experts in their field. We'll have coffee break in a little bit more than 1 hour. Then we have panel number 1, which is sort of on examples from diaspora humanitarianism from the field, also with a moderator. Then we will go to the more scientific part of this conference and present the DEMAC study findings before lunch. After lunch, we're going to have another panel, which will be some expert perspectives on the findings and implications of the DEMAC study. These will be discussed. Then we're going to have a bilateral discussion between a journalist and 2 experts in the field. And then coffee break afterwards. For the last panel, we will further explore the space of collaboration between the conventional humanitarian sector and diaspora agencies. And we, of course, will have closing remarks. So in all, this is a mixture of presentations, some panel discussions, some experts, consultants, and of course, your inputs and opinions to the discussion as well. What we will do for all the panel discussions is that we will make space for the experts, the panelists in the beginning. Then the moderator will take over and have prepared questions, and then they will enter into a dialogue with the panel. And then as we go along, we will open up the panel for everyone in this room to contribute. Okay, I will of course take you through as we go along and introduce every panel in detail, the names, the titles, what's the topic. So we have with us today, we have UN, INGOs, NGOs, EU, donors, diaspora, consultants, academia, a lot of different nationalities I can see, everything reflecting the sort of the multiplicity of factors involved in diaspora humanitarian, but also the variety of actors, of course. This is a very, very impressive group that has gathered here today, I must say. Let's make the best of it and push further the diaspora agenda one step.